What's going on, guys? It's Thomas from the Switch Stop, and today we have the 11th ever episode of Nintendo Tonight. This is a very, very special episode.
Indeed.
Very important. Today we're talking about one of the greatest, not even Nintendo franchises, one of the greatest video game franchises
Ever.
that is ever in history. One might even say it's the best. I would say it's one of the best. I think we are joined today by someone who would say it's one of the best. Today, we're talking about Mario Kart, all things Mario Kart in this episode. And we are joined by Sammy D from Kart Life on YouTube, who is just the Mario Kart. I mean, you can see behind him. Look at all the Mario Kart stuff. Like, he's the Mario Kart connoisseur. So we couldn't do this episode without you, Sammy.
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, it's great to be here. I'm glad you guys are back from your big epic event you had for Switch Stop. I'm glad you're back up and running. And just like I started my channel just basically a few months ago on a total whim. So it's like to make friends with channels like you guys and young creators that, you know, like it's really cool to connect with y'all and to be invited on a show that's much bigger than anything I've done on my channel so far. So I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we're honored to have you. We need some Mario Kart guidance in this episode. We got a lot of topics and
All right.
yeah, a lot of stuff. So first off, most important, intro to any Mario Kart related anything. It's like a kind of an icebreaker question, but it's also a really difficult question. So hold on for this one. What is, Sammy, we'll start with you, your favorite Mario Kart track ever? Like any game, anything.
Favorite Mario Kart track ever? There's so many for so many different reasons. Every Mario Kart game is amazing in its own way. I think they got better in a way over, like, including Mario Kart Tour. And I'll have a lot of controversial statements about Mario Kart Tour, I'm sure tonight, but like they just get better and better and better in different ways. And but Mario Kart 64 was the one where, I was younger and I came of age with all these, but that was the one right when I was like a teenager and like playing with my friends constantly. And the game is so great. I mean, the 64 era, like when Mario 64 and Mario Kart 64 came out and back to back, and just like the graphics of 64 and like how groundbreaking they were at the time, and then to play Mario Kart in a way that's like totally different from the original Super Mario Kart. So that was my favorite one. And then there's so many great tracks in that are still the best tracks. And my personal favorite, it's not Rainbow Road or Wario Stadium or a whole number of them that a lot of people like, but Koopa Troopa Beach was the one for me. It's this one that's on my shirt right here. And I love it because, I don't know, the game's known for its shortcuts, and a lot of them are like glitchy shortcuts where you're kind of, breaking the game somehow or whatever, and people are still finding them. Actually, I saw a video last week about a new Toad's Turnpike glitch shortcut someone found and broke the world record. But Koopa Troopa Beach, I don't know, it's got that shortcut through the mountain, and it's like a perfect shortcut that every player of any level can hit. And something about running that track over and over again, plus it's on the beach. I love the locale, and it's like the locale from Mario Kart that I wish I could go to and just like hang out.
Yeah.
So for a lot of reasons, Koopa Troopa Beach 64 is my jam.
Fair enough. That is a really that's a good one. I think we're gonna have some pretty different ones. I'll let PJ go next. PJ, what's your favorite Mario Kart track?
Definitely got to be Coconut Mall from Mario Kart Wii.
Oh.
Yep, it's so nostalgic for me. Second Mario Kart game I ever played. I just love it so much. I mean, I played it definitely the most out of any track when playing that game as a kid, and just so many great memories, with it. And I'd love to see it come back in a future game. But yeah, definitely Coconut Mall by a long shot.
Yeah,
the best to the masses right now, man.
Yeah.
Are you the guy on Twitter that does the petition every day for Coconut Mall?
Yeah, it's my burner.
Alternate.
Yeah, that's my burner Twitter.
Yeah.
What about you, Thomas?
I was just gonna say before I do mine, the best part about Coconut Mall is I think universally everyone thinks the best part, and they're not wrong, it is the best part, is the little cars with the Miis that go in the parking lot, and so you can just see like your friends, or like a Mii of yourself, or like a Mii if you've made like a joke Mii of like Peter Griffin or whatever, just driving around. Family Guy. I think that's so funny. I always loved when they incorporated like the Miis in either Mario Kart 7 or Mario Kart I don't think they were in 8 that much in the actual tracks, but Mario Kart Wii had a couple of those moments. So
Mhm.
my favorite track, I'm debating in my head whether this even counts, because technically it is not a Mario Kart track. So I guess any Mario Kart purists out there might this might offend you guys. My favorite track is Big Blue from Mario Kart 8/8 Deluxe.
Wow.
I know that's
Controversial.
yeah, that's a statement and a half, but I just something about that track is so it's so the energy that it brings is so like out of character for Mario Kart. It's so like intense. Whereas like a lot of Mario Kart tracks, like, you know, Rainbow Road is typically the hardest track, but like visually it's not super intense. Like you're driving on a literal rainbow. It's kind of like, you know, cartoony, and that's what makes Mario Kart so good at appealing to the masses. But like Big Blue is this huge futuristic type thing, and you know, it's a sectional track, meaning that you don't do laps, you do different sections, and it's just this giant race down this huge, like, it's not, I don't think it's actually a mountain, but it feels like a mountain. It's just, and the music, I don't know, I that's probably my favorite, even though you could make an argument that it doesn't even fit into like criteria, because it's not even a Mario Kart track, like it's, you know, based off F-Zero. So
Well, when they did the DLC tracks, and we'll probably talk about this whole concept more, but like, yeah, it was like trying out new things with the tracks. I mean, the Excitebike
mhm.
Arena was another one that was like, wow, this
Yeah,
is like an all-time track, because like it does something that they wouldn't have done otherwise. And Big Blue is kind of like you're playing Mario Kart inside like a bigger racing game that never, that you never got to
exactly,
play
yeah.
in the world of Mario. So it's a great track.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I just something about it. Like there's some cool shortcuts. I guess it kind of like
Oh,
harkens
yeah.
back a little bit to your point. Like there's some shortcuts you can do where like when the paths split up, you can go on like the top path and then drive off straight off, and you'll land on the bottom path and shave off some time. It's pretty fun. There's some cool shortcuts like that that I do enjoy. But
And it's
anyway,
the
we
only track in that game that has a different music for when you finish the race.
Oh
oh
wow.
really? Oh no,
It
there's
has
isn't
like,
doesn't Animal Crossing do that too, or am I making that up?
I don't, maybe, but okay, so maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
But
I
I
don't I
thought
don't
it's
know. I
just
don't
that
know.
one that plays F-Zero music at the end for the results. But
Yeah, I know for a fact it does play F-Zero music, because that song it plays is really good. It's really catchy. It'll
Hmm.
get stuck in your
that's
head.
good. It's a
Um,
controversial pick. Are you sure we're not in the
yeah.
hot takes section already?
No. Yeah, no, we are right into hot takes. This entire episode is going to be hot takes.
Yeah,
So, you know,
definitely.
hold on, you guys. If you're very passionate about Mario Kart, then this might ruffle some feathers. But you know, we're gonna say what we have to say.
Yep.
Um,
So, we'll just move on here to the main topic of the podcast, and that's basically going to be Mario Kart 9 speculation. Now, we have a couple points here that we're just going to go through the episode, and we'll just introduce them as we go. But first off here, will Mario Kart 9 come to Switch? Because it's actually a pretty interesting question, considering Mario Kart series is in a very weird place right now, being that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the top selling game for the Switch, and it's still selling really well. So, you begin to wonder if, they're just going to do a Mario Kart 9 because it financially doesn't quite make any sense at the moment, at least. And then they also have Mario Kart Tour, which has been just uberly successful on obviously mobile devices. So, Thomas, I guess we'll go to you first. I mean, do you think that Mario Kart 9 will come to the Switch at any time,
well, I think you know, first floating this out there, I think we all want it to really bad.
Oh, yeah,
So this is
definitely.
this is a more of a, do we think Nintendo will do it? So with that mindset, I think I don't see them doing it until Mario Kart a bit more. It still is selling like really well. I don't think there's been a week where it hasn't been in the top like 30 selling games
Right.
in the UK, because they do like weekly game sales charts. It fits so perfectly for the Switch. Like the controls are simple enough that you can do it with single Joy-Con on the side easily. It's one of the most universal games of all time. Like any Mario Kart you can pick up and play with friends, and you're going to have a good time. And it fits the Switch's, like, you know, ability to just take it anywhere. So that's why Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is doing so well. And I just don't think Nintendo, even though it would make sense for them to do it somewhat soon to capitalize off the success of Mario Kart Tour, which could be bringing a lot of people back into the Mario Kart franchise.
Hmm.
I think you could make an argument that they're trying to capitalize on the success of Tour with 8 Deluxe, as they're doing these like My Nintendo tournaments with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which they haven't
Yep.
always been doing, but they're doing a fair amount of them recently, where you can participate in a tournament and win up to like $25 in like eShop points. But it's more of just a way to like, be tweeting about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and try and get the word out there. So I do not think, I don't know if it'll end up being on the Switch or the next Nintendo console, but I don't see another Mario Kart releasing for a couple of years, unfortunately.
Yeah, Sammy, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, you guys have hit it right on. It's like it's such a weird limbo we're in, kind of in a way, and like both 8 Deluxe, even though it's such an old game, Mario Kart 8 at this point, 6 years old. Yeah, Deluxe just being, the port. Like I've been playing that game. I played that game so long ago. I just like as great as it is, and it's definitely one of the best ever for sure, if not the
Yeah.
best. But like it's like I just we're ready for a new one, but at the same time, Mario Kart Tour is doing well, I guess. But a big thing I want to talk about tonight is like the divide between Mario Kart Tour players and then the people who just completely shunned the game from day one,
Mm-hmm.
which is too bad. I hate that happened, but I think those people want it. But then new people are still buying the Switch, and it is still taking off. The sales of Switch in general, so Mario Kart 8 is still going to be one of the first games people buy. So to me, it begs the question of like, and this is something you guys can probably speak to more than me because you know about what the rumors are and what Nintendo has historically done. But how long will the Switch last? And so when will that next generation be? Is it 2 years away? Is it 4 years? Could they stretch the Switch longer than they've stretched typical lives of consoles just because it's doing well? So if the Switch goes for 4 more years, then yes, I could see Mario Kart, the next one, coming to Switch, but I do think it's a couple years away still. Maybe I don't know. Maybe yeah, because they're gonna get through Breath of the Wild, and it's like Breath of the Wild 2, like other stuff is gonna happen before this happens. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. I have an article I just pulled up here because I remembered seeing something like this from February 2nd, 2018, saying that Nintendo plans to support the Switch for 7 to 10 years is what they were internally saying according to this article. We're entering year 3, or we're like in the middle of year 4, I guess technically now, because it's obviously launched March 2017. Or would that be year 3? I think it's year 3, yeah. So regardless, there's a lot of Switch left to go. And that even gets extended if they do a mid-console revision, like a Switch Pro or a new Nintendo Switch. Yeah, it's a very interesting question. I think Mario Kart 9 will end up being on the Switch, but I think they're just gonna wait as long as they can so that it doesn't end up prematurely cutting off the sales of 8 Deluxe. I think, once the Switch kind of starts slowing down in terms of sales, and Nintendo's main like priority is putting out Switch games that all Switch owners will buy rather than getting new Switch owners in the first place, that's when they hit the Mario Kart 9, or as we'll get into later, whatever they end up calling it, because it might not be Mario Kart 9. And that's when they hit that hard, and I think everyone's going to be, because at that point, you're right, Sammy, people are done with Mario Kart 8. As fun as it is, it's my favorite Mario Kart game, but I probably have like 500 hours in like both versions combined, so I'm itching for that next like taste of kart action.
For sure. It's gonna be great when it happens, and they'll do things that we didn't expect, So, yeah, I'm very curious.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like for it to come to Switch at least. I would, really love to see that, but financially, at least at this time, I can't really see them doing it. I've seen some people on Twitter and stuff say like 2022 or something like that, but I feel like it's might be coming near the end of the Switch's lifespan at least, because again, like the Mario Kart franchise, like I opened up this point with, is just in an awkward stage right now for at least it being on consoles. So Mario Kart 9 can do a lot of new things as well, which we'll get into. Possibly bring some old fan favorite characters back as well. So yeah, I mean, that is definitely an interesting idea to think about, and hopefully we do see that in the next 4 or 5 years, something like that.
For
sure.
They won't let too many years go by before the next big one comes, for sure.
Yeah, agreed. So we can move on to the next point here, And this is a pretty big one. Will it be Nintendo Kart? Because as we know in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, we have the Inklings, we have, Link and the Villager and everything. Obviously not Mario characters at all. So a lot of people have seen the Captain Falcon tracks as well, asking, why is Captain Falcon not in the game? Is he possibly going to make an introduction into Mario Kart 9 or Nintendo Kart? Sammy, what do you think? Do you think that they'll ever go to a Nintendo Kart after seeing all of these new introductions of non-Mario Kart characters in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at least?
Big question. I feel like I'm in the minority, but I feel really passionately about it. I'm a purist. I don't want that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I loved what they did with the DLC, and I think Thomas in the Nintendo Direct nailed what would be a great idea, which is to do 2 more rounds over the next 2 years of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC if you want. As I guess it would be more of the Nintendo Kart type stuff, but it is weird. They did these tracks. They had F-Zero track with no F-Zero character. Like it was just like they didn't go very far with it. They just kind of like dabbled in the tiptoed into the waters of it, and which tells me either it was just a brief experiment they tried, or I don't know. I feel like if they were going to do that, they would have rolled out more DLC by now. And
Yeah.
I do hope that it's not the case. To me, it's like it's not just that I'm a purist, but I love the Mario universe. Like the world building of the Mario universe is so rich, and there's so much
Mhm.
still you could do. Even like Thomas, I teased you that I would mention 3D World, and I'll just go ahead and get it out of the
Yes.
way. But like the like the Bowser amusement park.
Oh yeah, World Bowser. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, like that kind of setting is just one of many examples of like there's so
Yeah.
many tracks they could still
Mm-hmm.
come up with. It's they're not out of ideas for tracks or characters. Mario Kart Tour has shown that as well with the characters. I mean, I'll get more on that in a second, but no, I hope that that was just a thing they tried for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I would hope that they do not replace Mario Kart with a Nintendo Kart. But if they were to do more DLC rounds over the next couple of years, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just before you get in here, Thomas, about Captain Falcon, the first thing that I thought when after seeing, Captain Falcon tracks and everything, but not Captain Falcon himself in the game, is, will we have another F-Zero game? I mean, it's just so weird to me how
Yeah.
you put in tracks but not the character itself. I mean, that can be the only possibility that, could have been, I guess, because I was kind of disappointed. I was like, you add all these tracks, you don't want to add the character. Like, come on. I mean, Captain Falcon is iconic, obviously building most of that fame from Smash, but regardless, F-Zero still a pretty legendary series, but hasn't been talked about in a while and hasn't been done in a while either. So, interesting to see what they'll potentially do with that franchise in a couple of years here.
Yeah. It's so bizarre what they did with
Mm-hmm.
that. I think my guess for what they did, I'm exclusively going to be talking with 8 Deluxe here because this theory doesn't really work with Mario Kart 8, but
Mm-hmm.
8 Deluxe Animal Crossing stuff was already there in the game because it was in the F-Zero stuff was already in, but they added in terms of third parties, they added in Splatoon stuff. A Splatoon battle course, Urchin Underpass, I think it was, and both Inkling Boy and Inkling Girl, and some cart parts and whatnot. And I think that they did that. They kind of, PJ, you mentioned Smash. I think Nintendo is viewing Mario Kart kind of in the same way they viewed Smash Bros., where they can use it to kind of boost up other franchises that aren't as big as it. So if you remember Smash Bros., obviously Captain Falcon is a perfect example. Most people know Captain Falcon from Smash Bros. And Splatoon was already really big, but with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe coming out in April of 2017 and Splatoon 2 coming out in July of 2017, Splatoon 2 ended up selling over like 10 million copies. And I think that the best marketing that game received was being included in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe 2 months prior, which is by far and away the best-selling Switch game.
Yes.
So it makes me wonder if, hey, if Nintendo ends up putting out Mario Kart 9 or whatever, maybe Nintendo Kart. Hopefully not. I'm with Sammy on this one. I think keep it with Mario Kart and, maybe add in some more Nintendo characters, but I think the roster should always be like 80% Mario Kart characters at least, because there's still so many they can pull. Like, there's just like, look at Mario Kart Tour. There's so many more characters in that game than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So it's clear that they have more Mario universe characters to pull from. So I don't know. I feel like they're gonna use it as kind of a way to advertise other series, and that is actually kind of boosted by the fact that the only content update that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe ever received was a free Link costume for Breath of the Wild Link and the Master Cycle Zero to promote the second expansion pass to Breath of the Wild 1. So you can kind of weigh that. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah,
Sammy, go ahead.
Yeah, and maybe they will when the next Mario Kart game comes out, they'll do DLC again and they'll do the similar kind of thing. But that's a good point related to the sales. I'm trying to think of what other things they could do like this year. I mean, of course, it's been such a dead year, and they've already got Animal Crossing track covered. So, but yeah, good thinking there. PJ?
Yeah, I mean, I just wish that generally they added more content to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because there's just so much potential that they could have done there. A lot of Nintendo games are like that, but I'm gonna save myself from going on a rant here at least. But yeah, go ahead.
I had a whole like mock-up I made because I love designing like fake mock-ups, and
Yep.
I had like this idea for like an Odyssey DLC pack for when Odyssey came out. It would have been so easy to add an Odyssey cup, and I came up with 4 tracks. I mean, there's all these kingdoms, so you could have like so many. You could just pick 4 great, Toast Arena, and like you could throw in like a couple Mario alts or whatever from Odyssey, and they could have just released an extra DLC cup for 8 Deluxe, and they didn't.
Yeah.
So it's like, why didn't they?
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, Thomas and I have talked about this many times. I mean, it is definitely a wasted opportunity. So much content they could have added along to 8 Deluxe, but for some reason they've chosen not to. So, I don't know what their plans are. Are they working Mario Kart 9? Who knows? I mean, I would assume not, but I'm not going to throw anything out of the window here, because Nintendo is a very sporadic company, at least, because I feel like they're always surprising me with something that I would have never thought would be done, so shame. Damn shame.
I also feel like for at least with my friends in my generation, going back through all the consoles, like Nintendo has never been known for DLC. Like, they've always been behind when it comes to DLC. They don't do as much as everyone else. I mean, it's getting a lot better, and 8 Deluxe DLC was a big step in that right direction. But yeah, maybe they are maybe they have those resources working on the next one, and it's going to take years. Just like it takes for Breath of the Wild or whatever. It just takes a long time, and they're just working on the next one. I
wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I feel like their games do take a while. Like, Nintendo spends a long time. Like, they spend like I think, like, I would wager to say probably 3+ years on most of their big $60 games, which is a fair amount of time when you look at companies like Activision, which they put out like a Call of Duty game like every year, or like NBA 2K is a perfect example, because PJ and I were talking about it before the podcast. Like, there's literally a new one every year. That's the gimmick of the game. So like, Nintendo clearly they put a lot of time into their game. So I wouldn't be surprised if, or I would be surprised if the next Mario Kart wasn't already at least in pre-production, just like sketching out ideas and whatnot. I think they're probably full on coding it and working on it. Because even if they don't release it when they're 100% like done with development, they could literally just like store the game and wait until 8 Deluxe finishes selling. Like, it's kind of an unorthodox move, but I don't see why they couldn't.
Yep. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I guess to kind of answer the question back to that, because we definitely got a little sidetracked, no pun intended, of course. But will it be a Nintendo Kart? I don't think so, and I would be very disappointed if that was the case, because Mario Kart is just such an iconic brand. But at the same time, I could definitely see the many reasons behind why they would do it, because there are a lot of benefits, but to see the Mario Kart name potentially go away would be a little saddening to me, to see at least. But yeah.
It'd be kind of a point of no return in a way, like because once you
Yep.
go there,
Can't go back.
it's going to be that forever. Yeah.
hmm Yeah, definitely a bit of a dark area there, for what they'll do, but at least I think we're all in agreement. I hope that they do keep the Mario Kart name while
Yeah.
not branching out too far to the other Nintendo franchises, because that's when you get into some weird territory. But
Exactly.
moving on to the next point here, we got roster speculation and new potential tracks. Now, I'm just gonna say off the bat here, I want Funky Kong back. Big Mario Kart Wii guy. I mean, I was very disappointed when he got removed for whatever reason. Funky Kong is definitely a character I'd want back, along with the addition of Dixie Kong. I feel like there's not enough Donkey Kong characters at least represented in Mario Kart, and I'm not sure if Diddy Kong is in the game. I could be wrong. But if he's not,
I don't know. Yeah.
yeah, if
No,
he's
I
not
think
in
he's in
Mario
eight.
Kart,
Eight
is he?
deluxe. I think
Yeah.
he's in 8.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
remember
okay.
though. I haven't played
If
enough.
he's not though, yeah, if he's not though, definitely those three Donkey Kong characters added back or just added in general. But yeah, Sammy, what characters would you like to see in a Mario Kart 9? Obviously, we see from Mario Kart Tour, there's a ton of new characters in there that definitely add a interesting mix to roster speculation for the next game. So, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Funky, when Funky came to Mario Kart Tour, it was huge. Like fans
Yep.
went crazy, um, just because it's a fan favorite. And yeah, I mean, so let me can I just get a hot take out of the way? I got to get off my chest.
Go
Yeah,
right
sure.
ahead.
There's something that I've been surprised about and saddened by, which is that there's a contingent on Twitter, particularly, of people who are like complaining about Mario Kart Tour getting all these great characters,
hmm
and they didn't add them to. And these are people that basically don't play Mario Kart Tour, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
my whole thing is like, well, like, okay, look, I know all the downsides of Mario Kart Tour. I know that the fact that you can pay for advantages is inherently problematic and turned a lot of people off right from the beginning. And if they had a version of Mario Kart Tour that didn't have any pay to win at all, I would love that. But that's not what we have. We have this, and with every Mario Kart game, just like Mario Kart Wii, it was a big departure. You're playing with an actual motion control wheel. But
yeah,
once you like go in and say, okay, I'm going to give a shot at what Nintendo's trying to do here and see what it's like, then you cross the learning curve and it becomes an amazing game, and it is a mobile game. I'm kind of an apologist or defendant of this game because I came in so skeptical more than anyone else that it would even work to have a vertical, like auto driving Mario Kart game for all these
yeah,
reasons. And then so now I feel like we're getting rewarded by all these great characters, and it's a game they can add to constantly, adding new tracks, adding new characters, constant for like almost a year now. And there's going to be more. There's already more characters in this game than like probably every Mario Kart combined, and a lot of them are reskins and alts. But the alts are like cool and weird and like not ones you would ever expect. And not only that, but they're adding unique characters. They added Monty Mole, they added King Bob-omb, just and Nabbit. And then I've got one of the reasons my channel like got some traction is I made a character wish list video with my top 25 characters. And these are characters I've been wanting forever, and players have too. And they're starting to come to the game. I think like checked 6 of them off my list already since I made the video. And my number one would be Kamek. He was from the original beta version of Mario Kart 64. You can see an image
Oh yeah.
from the
yeah,
demo version where he was one of the 8. And ever since then, he has not been a Mario Kart, and he still is not in Mario Kart Tour. I'm hoping he comes.
yeah,
But Mario Kart Tour just does show you that between the original characters like Funky, Dixie, Monty, Kamek, possibly people like that, plus these alts, and there's actually alts from Mario Kart Tour that within the Mario Kart Tour community have become like fan favorite characters, like all time Mario Kart racers, like Vacation Peach. She's one of the coin box characters, and she was like the first one to get like buffed really hard.
Yeah.
and people love Peach in general, and I don't know, like it's the kind of thing where if they do another Mario Kart and Vacation Peach does not somehow make a cameo in the next big one, it's going to almost be like shocking to me, So there's so many they could do.
Yeah.
Obviously, my number one would be Kamek, and I guess I'll refer people to my wish list for all my other picks.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many. Like, that's one of the things too is Sammy, it's like Twitter is just like often very negative in terms of like
Oh
anything
yeah.
they don't like, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely not the best place to be if you're trying to like find positive feedback on something. But it's like I agree with you. It's so much like I personally have not played Mario Kart Tour in a bit, but it for a mobile Mario Kart, I feel like they did like pretty much as good as you could reasonably expect because so many people are like, "Oh, well, I hate the microtransactions." And it's like, "Well, they gotta make money somehow. Like literally, they're a business. Like they're going to have to make money." And very few people bought Super Mario Run when it was a pay once to play the entire thing. And Fire Emblem Heroes did Insane, which is a similar like gotcha mechanic. So clearly, they were gonna go with this, and that kind of pushes them to add these cool characters. Because when I see something like Aurora Rosalina in the pipe, like I'm gonna empty that pipe so I get her because that was such a cool
Yeah.
skin. It's so cool. So it kind of
Yeah.
encourages them to add in these really cool characters. And circling way back, I remember PJ, you said Funky Kong and Dixie Kong. Sammy, correct me if I'm wrong. Dixie Kong is in the game, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They
Yeah,
both came to the game on the same tour.
yeah. So
So they're just giving fans what they want with this game.
exactly.
And if you're going to protest it, fine. But on the creative side with the game design, like it's actually, they're doing cool stuff that fans have always wanted. So
Yeah, 100%.
and I think that when we do get the next Mario Kart Tour, it will be like a everybody is here type of scenario where it will be like everyone, like maybe not all the alts, like Scuba Mario or like Bus Driver Waluigi. I don't expect necessarily to be there, but basically, everyone, especially all the originals, Nabbit and all these people, even like characters from like Rob and older characters from the Mario Kart series who haven't come back in a while. I think they will do that with the next big Mario Kart. So there'll be
100%.
tons. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be crazy to see if having like an everyone is here type dynamic for two games for like Nintendo now. So that would be pretty crazy. I mean, having a bunch of those Mario Kart characters back. I mean, like Rob, I believe he was a Mario Kart DS exclusive. That's where I remember him from at least.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that entire dynamic would just be kind of crazy. I mean, Funky being back in the game would be great. Obviously more Donkey Kong series representation would be great. And to answer the next question for this topic, at least, I mean, we'll go around after myself. New tracks, whether that be bringing back a track from a previous game that hasn't been in 8 Deluxe or anything, or just something from a Nintendo game you'd want to see in a Mario Kart 9. So obviously for me, as I said in the intro, I'm gonna go with Coconut Mall again because that is not in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I would love to see it come back for Mario Kart 9. That's just the only request that I have. So Nintendo, please get it done. But yeah, what about you guys? I mean, we'll go with Thomas to answer that. So go ahead.
Oh man, I kind of got to go with what Sammy was saying before. I love all the Mario Kart tracks. I think the team at Nintendo does a very incredible job at designing so many unique tracks that just like come out of nowhere. Like something like Music Park, like that has no connection to anything Mario related. It's so like ingenious. But my favorite Mario Kart tracks, or the ones that I get me the most excited, are not the ones like Music Park or Cheese Land where they're just like so random, but they're the ones that like kind of link back in some sort to Mario itself. So like something like Toad's Harbor in 8 Deluxe, like that was never really like that doesn't it. They could have probably linked it to like Mario Sunshine somehow, made it like a Delfino related thing. They didn't, but like Or there are like
I
Isle
wish.
Delfino tracks or like Delfino Plaza tracks, but like
Delfino
that,
Square is one of my faves.
yeah, that's one from that was in Wii. Was that in the GameCube one too? Double
It
Dash?
was on DS.
Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, like there are tracks they do that are more interconnected with like Mario's actual history within the
Yeah.
platforming games. That's what I really want to see them kind of lean into. Sammy said this before, like the World Bowser from Super Mario. That would be an insane track. They could do
3D World. Yeah.
they could literally do, yeah, like anything from 3D World, anything from Odyssey, the Metro
Yeah.
City, like Metro City tracks. There's
Yeah,
so
New Donk
much they
City.
could pull. Exactly, yeah.
Oh
There's
yeah,
so
that'd
much
be
they
a
could
cool one
pull
too.
from Mario. Just Mario as a brand is so big. So
Yeah, no doubt. Sammy.
Yeah, I mean, there've been other like another so Mario Party. This is
Yeah.
yeah.
so I heard your hot take on Super Mario Party, but and I agree, it's not a great Mario Party game. However, world building for Nintendo and the characters, you have a Kamek's city, like Kamek's palace, where in that
Oh
final
yeah,
Mario Party stage. It's like a golden, like everything's made of gold, and it's in like how Shy Guy Bazaar. It's like you feel like you're like in the Orient somewhere. It's like on
yeah.
another part of the. It was like that, and or like King Bob-omb's bomb mine or bomb factory. Like there, that
Uh-huh.
just shows you so many things they could do if you like pick certain characters and build a world around them that's like a part of the Mario world we've never seen before.
Yeah,
There's just so many instances of that, and then that like yeah, I mean, there's also retro tracks that would be always cool, but they've kind of brought back almost. They haven't brought back Coconut Mall, I guess, since Wii, right? So
Yeah,
that would
3DS. I
correct.
think no, I think it was in the 3DS one.
In Mario Kart
Um,
7, really?
I think so. I could be wrong.
well,
I don't know. I'll look
well,
it up. I'll look it up
but
while you guys
Okay.
talk.
but to see an HD, like some of the
Yeah.
Wii tracks would be cool. Um, so yeah, I mean, and they'll at this point they'll have to start recycling some of the retro ones, but yeah, I think there's enough to build absolutely 16, or maybe they do more this time. It's usually 16 new tracks, but for sure, including Odyssey, like you said, do one like Toad Town from Paper Mario. I mean, there's other games you could pull from and do cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think I just want to talk. You said Mario Party, and then my mind instantly went because I'm connecting this with Kamek, which you said before, Sammy. You're a big Kamek guy.
My fave.
Um,
Oh yeah.
so Mario Party 8, my personal favorite Mario Party. There's a bunch of cool courses in that game. But my favorite, not my favorite, but one of the coolest ones in my opinion is it's called Shy Guys Perplex Express. It's a train, but
Yeah.
even though technically it's Shy Guys Perplex Express, everyone I know thinks of it as Kamek's course because you can land, like the most signature feature on it is you can land on the green like exclamation mark spaces. Then Kamek flies in from who knows where and starts lifting up the train cars and rearranging them in order.
Yeah.
So I like that just instantly makes me think, okay, what if the train is like big and the carts are kind of like small scale in kind of like a Ribbon Road type thing where Ribbon Road, like, technically
Love Ribbon Road.
technically speaking, Ribbon Road, all the carts are very small because that takes place in like a kid's bedroom, like kind of Toy Story-esque situation. So
Yeah,
what if like you're driving, like weaving in and out of like the trains, going from train cars, and then like Kamek in the middle of one of them, like the like it just kind of picks up and starts like moving around, and that becomes like an anti-gravity section. Like there's so much they could do with Mario Party in particular, as you said, Sammy, that it's a great idea for them to do something like that.
I've got to piggyback off that and drop another idea on you. Like,
Gotcha.
I don't know if this belongs in one of the upcoming questions or not. So forgive me, but they they could go into different vehicles, and one of the ways they could completely transform Mario Kart is to go in the water and in the sky. And you got your kart tracks, you got your airplane tracks, and you're flying. Like, I mean, I know this is like a big, like
Oh,
a different idea to wrap your head around, but
okay.
take Mario Kart to the sky, and instead of carts, like they added bikes. So what if we added airplanes, and then what if, I mean, I just think it would be amazing if
That's
they kind of
crazy.
broke the mold, and you had
Wow.
it was like I don't know, Starfire. What are the other great flying games? I mean, These
Yeah.
days, there's not really a big one, but something I could see them doing in a way that, because every Mario Kart they come up with some new hook that completely changes Mario
Yeah.
Kart. In some way, the
Uh-huh.
anti-grav, um, So I don't know. They could take to the skies or all underwater or something, or
Yeah.
not even underwater, but like on the water. Like remember, do you guys remember a game Wave Race?
Yeah, Wave Race
It
64.
was
I
Yeah,
love that game. The
yeah,
soundtrack is phenomenal in Wave Race. I don't
oh
know
yeah,
why, but
it
they
was
they pulled
great.
out all the stops. Yeah.
And the physics of being on the water and you're like drifting and like skidding, like
Hmm.
imagine if Mario
Yeah.
Kart went to like all three terrains. I don't know.
yeah, that would be
That would
pretty
be
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah,
It could work like Mario Kart 7. They brought in the glider, and that was crazy because it
Yeah,
was kind of taking to the
exactly.
skies in a
Yep,
sense. Like,
yep.
but if you look at like
not to
Mario
that
Kart,
extent though. Yeah,
yeah, oh, of course. But if you look at Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart TV, when you go on like anti-grav, your
Yeah,
cart wheels
TV.
they kind of flip in like this.
Mhm.
And so they're
Yes,
clearly okay with the carts
love it.
having some sort of like yeah, they're okay with having the carts have some sort of like transformation effect. So what if you got your glider, you got your underwater, but then you also got your like go off maybe a green ramp instead of a blue ramp or a orange for boost,
Yeah,
and the wings come out of your car, and now
boom,
you have control of the pitch like vertical. That blows me away. That would
that
be
would be
so cool.
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, that.
Sunshine Airport
Very
again.
cool.
Do Sunshine Airport again, but you're actually flying around like as one of the
Wow.
planes.
Yeah. Yeah, that I mean that even segues into our next point too, but
Do it.
that's just crazy. I mean, so next up here is just new features we'd like to see in Mario Kart 9. I mean, we have it wrote down here that's gonna be like specifically implemented from Mario Kart Tour, but even just new features in general, like that one is crazy. I mean, bringing it to like three different terrains, like actually flying. The idea of like wings coming out of your cart, or have the wheels turn upside down like Thomas said, how you can see in Mario Kart TV with anti-grav, do that. But Sammy, since you're quite the Mario Kart Tour fanatic, I would say, apart from me and Thomas, of course, you would know the game the best. So would you want any features in Mario Kart Tour gameplay wise to come to Mario Kart 9? Is there anything that you would carry over there?
Well, I'll try to make this brief. The reality is like they changed the game like with
Oh yeah.
frenzies. I can't. I don't think there's a going back from frenzies.
Wow.
I mean, okay, look, I like I said, I'm a purist, so I also agree that just racing, with like normal items or one item even is still with one in your back pocket or whatever is still great, and that will always be an option. I mean, even in multiplayer, you can toggle off the frenzy option and just have one or two items. But I really do think that first of all, this they based this game on points and combos where you actually have to chain events that you do in the race,
Hmm.
and the more events, more actions you do in the race, the more drifts, more power slides, turbos, jump boosts, hits with a green shell, taking out a blooper, taking out a blue shell, like these all earn you points. So I also think the point system might be a point of no return that's permanently added. It, of course, in Mario Kart Tour, you in a way you don't have to come in first to still like achieve a certain amount of points, but at the end of the
Yep.
day, you do. Like in a ranked cup, you definitely have to get first in all your
Yeah.
races. So
Hmm.
it doesn't ruin the fact that you still have to use your skill and have the best possible lines to make sure you get first. But I really don't think I think is really genius, man. Like the frenzy is such a rush. I mean, I'm sure they sat down with games like Candy Crush or whatever other games like the
Yeah.
8-year-olds
Yeah.
play, and they
Yeah.
said we need to build in some mechanism that is so addictive to play. And
Hmm.
I think if they made it, uh, I could I could see them maybe doing just two items like in the next Mario Kart, but I also think that like frenzy is just too good of an idea. It's just fun, man. It's so
Yeah.
fun. It's like to like wait for that frenzy lock, and so I think that's one. And then if it does include points, then like the coin box, like there's some items in Mario Kart Tour that are just like epic. Like coin box is like the biggest rush to get. It's like the ultimate character item you can get. It's like all the best characters have coin box. Gosh, I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, um, I think that's it. I mean, just basically the frenzy and the combo point based system. I'm really curious if that will be a permanent part of the game. What do y'all think
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah, I don't know if they would add frenzies, because I think that's a little, um, I don't know. I think it's a little outlandish to at least add frenzies in the console Mario Kart games, but I wouldn't really be opposed to the idea. But something I do agree with you with is the combos and at least the point system. I think that's kind of inevitable. I would be really surprised if they didn't end up doing that in Mario Kart 9. So, frenzies I'm a bit iffy on, but the points at the combo system, I would, I'd think that that would definitely come to Mario Kart 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
I
see
have
that. It might. Yeah, go ahead.
no. I have a long tangent I'm gonna go on. So you say your piece first because I don't wanna keep saying.
Yeah, it could be that we'll look back and Mario Kart Tour was the. Oh, remember that time they added frenzies with 3 items, and it might just be like a
Yeah.
blip in the timeline for sure.
Mhm.
But I think it's pretty fun and great. But go ahead. All right, let's hear
Agreed.
this
Okay.
rant.
Okay, stick with me here on this one, guys. So
Oh god.
Settle in.
you know that never starts off well. But so you know how in Smash Bros, you can when you're playing Smash Bros, you can have when you're just playing with friends, you pick your character, pick your stage, pick your rules, and your rules like you would do this when you're playing like versus in Mario Kart. In Mario Kart 8, you can choose like normal items, frantic items. I think one of those new options would be frenzy items, which then gives you the 3 and allows
Okay.
frenzies. Then you can also choose your win condition, so you can have finish first, second, third. Like obviously, you try and get first, or you win by getting the points.
Yeah, wow.
With that, it would be like having stock and timed in Smash Bros. You could be
Well,
able
the
to
thing
choose yeah.
The thing I was gonna say is like you actually get a chunk of points for placing first.
Of
So
course,
it's
yeah.
really hard. It would be hard to come in second or third without the point boost from first, but maybe they don't have that exact point system in place.
Maybe it could give less of a substantial boost
Yeah,
in the home console. But my big rant is now I have always been a proponent of a story mode in Mario Kart. If you have ever played the game
Oh
Diddy
wow.
Kong Racing, they had a story mode sort of thing with like a whole hub world, and you could drive around, and there were different like boss fights, and there were different fights. And in my Mario Kart Dream version of this, you can like buy different like upgrades for your cart with like coins and whatnot. And I think that is a great idea. But my one reservation with that has been it's just going to feel like you're doing a bunch of races over and over again. But if each race has a different win condition, so like this would be the way to like kind of spice it up. So like you could do some races that you have to like beat a computer in like a time trials type thing, and just get first like normal Mario Kart. Then you could have some where it's like it's more of a point based system, and it would be the way to kind of shake up the gameplay that would make it so a single player mode or like a story mode, so to speak, actually makes sense to be implemented because there would be enough gameplay there that it warrants existing. Does that make sense?
Thomas, I gotta say, man, like I've been so on that same exact page to the point where I have such a great in-depth like plan that I've actually like typed out for what a story based, or I wouldn't go so far as to say open world, but I almost
Yeah.
want to say
That's
open world
what I'm
Mario.
talking about with the hub world.
It would be crazy. Wow.
That would bring in unlock tracks one by one and build a real Mario Kart game inside of a story or adventure Mario Kart game.
Exactly.
And if I say anything more about my ideas about this, like people already tell me Nintendo is stealing my ideas from my Kart Life videos, and I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true, but just on the because I do love predicting, and I've predicted some of the characters, but
Yeah,
if
we do
just
too.
on the off chance, like I have the best ideas for this, you wouldn't even know. I'll tell you off camera because
All
the
right, fair enough.
possibility of turning a Mario Kart game into a story based a la Diddy Kong Racing, but taken to almost like the Breath of the Wild level, where it's like
Yeah, wow.
every like I can't say more because I
Yeah,
don't want the ideas to get like
of course.
you're exactly right, and that's something they could do for sure to completely change the game.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, my mind just. Oh, sorry. You go, PJ.
Yeah.
I already talked a fair
Yeah,
amount.
all good, all good, all good. Yeah, but the whole open world concept idea is something that has been kind of, or is starting to become kind of a staple with Nintendo. I mean, we have Breath of the Wild, obviously changing Zelda forever. A couple episodes ago, I believe, I was talking about how where Star Fox could take their next step in terms of the series because it's also stuck. And I brought up how it could possibly be open world, bringing in that Star Fox 64 content, also mixing in Star Fox Adventures content. How that could mix in with HD, and this too is just a next level for Mario Kart. I mean, I think it's a great idea. I would love to entertain it for the game. I mean, Mario Kart can deserve a shakeup, I guess. I mean, like, games are always changing, and although Mario Kart is uber successful, I mean, I don't think people would really have a complaint against it. Although I think multiplayer has to kind of stay intact with that open world idea, which I don't know how exactly you would kind of distinct that, whether multiplayer would automatically have like all tracks unlocked or what have you. They would obviously have to figure that out. Obviously, we can get into like deeper predictions about that, but definitely just generally an open world Mario Kart idea. I mean, I played Diddy Kong Racing on the DS, I believe, when it was remade, because I forget what system it was originally on. It was on 64? Yeah. So I love that game. Very underrated on the DS. Definitely, you should play it if you get the opportunity. But yeah, great idea. Props to you. I mean, open world, looks like the future for Nintendo games, at least, because we have 3D Mario basically going there, Zelda going there, and then we just have a bunch of other ideas for franchises that are very plausible to go into that open world format as well.
And even like Mario Tennis Aces, like there's a story mode there, and it wasn't like amazing. And like I hope that I would say I hope they don't do a story mode that's kind of like half baked or half finished. That's like Mario, but it shows you that you could do something, And challenge all the missions from Mario Kart. I forget if it's I always get DS and 7 on 3DS mixed up some of the features, but all the
believe it's
mission
DS. I believe it's DS.
Yeah. The missions, and then you have bonus challenges in Mario Kart Tour. They're not as like developed or creative as the missions, but so many things like that become part of the story. And exactly, every we got to talk more about this off camera. Because like I said, I can't have my ideas stolen. But I will say, Nintendo, if you're listening, I straight up want to like my dream more than becoming like a successful YouTuber or anything would be like to be on the creative side
on a Mario Kart game,
like that.
Definitely
consultant or something.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Nintendo, if you are listening, 3D World Deluxe also, just throw that in there because I have to.
Hey, no, but this is my brand.
Hey, fair enough. But like
you're gonna get 3D World Deluxe.
Hopefully, I mean, probably. Well, we'll see. Hopefully soon. But let me just float out one idea, then we can move off this open world idea because we don't want to get our ideas stolen. But just think about this, like or actually, I would be fine with Nintendo stealing this. I don't even care. This would be so fun. But like,
of course.
Imagine like whatever the collectible is that you need that like drives the story. Maybe like PJ, I know you're a huge Sunshine fan, so I'll just say Shine Sprite. Say there's a Shine Sprite on the top of like a mountain in the distance. You drive up to the mountain through maybe some valleys along like something like Choco Mountain if they remade that. To get to the top of the mountain, you go through like Rock Mountain from Mario Kart 7. Then once you get to the top, you got to go through a mine, so you get into Wario's gold mine. Then you're going through that, and then
once all into the exactly.
It works perfectly.
You're already on my staff for
let's go.
Like you're my coach because check it out. This is how the game starts. Mario comes out of his house just like in a normal Mario game. Gets a letter from Peach or something. Actually, he does get a letter from Peach, and it says, "Mario, we're starting a new Royal Mario Kart tournament. It's been so long since you've taken the wheel. Will you consider coming back and racing?" And Mario has not raced in years. He doesn't even have his cart anymore. Luigi comes over. Luigi says, "Your old cart's sitting rusting away in this thing." And they have to go into this like mud field. And the first challenge is like, put your cart back together and see what you got. See if you still got it. And then once he's got that, he realizes he's going to accept an invitation to this tournament. But before the tournament, which is the big finale of the game, there's all these other intramural tournaments that are all over the kingdom, and Mario goes on his own to train and picks up rosters along the way. So as you meet characters and as you face off bosses of other characters, they become part of the team that you're going to bring to the ultimate tournament in Peach's Castle. Dude,
Wow.
I'm telling you, man. There's
That-
so many things.
That is unbelievable. That
Yeah,
sounds. I'm
seriously.
excited. And you can imagine, the final tournament in Peach's Castle somehow gets crashed by Bowser. The castle goes
Of
up to
course.
the sky. Your final thing is on Rainbow Road. Like you gotta go
Yeah,
Rainbow Road
wow.
to get back. Like that
Dude,
just.
I already thought of it. It's a whole Rainbow Road tournament, Thomas, of every
my-
Rainbow Road. Come on, man.
Yo. We have to stop talking about this. I'm getting too excited for something that theoretically will probably not
Never
happen.
happened. Yep.
But I'm too
Hey, but-
excited about it.
It's crazy.
You gotta have the vision. So Nintendo, call me. I got the whole thing. I literally one day I was like, I gotta write all this down. This is too good.
Yeah, honestly, if Mario Kart 9 gets announced and they don't end up doing this, I'm just saying, we could work together. We could make a concept trailer masterpiece of this.
Oh,
Sammy, we could
Right.
keep that in mind. Hopefully it gets announced
Okay.
so we don't even have to do that. But we could make a banger of it. Anyway, there's
Let
so
PJ
much.
take us to the next question.
Yeah.
No, of course. I mean, just to kind of finish off on that, like, crazy idea. I mean, it would change the Mario Kart series forever. I mean, it sounds great. The entire idea in all its entirety just makes me so excited. So definitely,
you add the 16 tracks in there so that by the end of it, you do have a normal game that then you just can play all the tracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just if that were to ever happen, it would just have to be executed correctly and have it flow right. But I trust them if they were to do that. But yeah, crazy stuff. So moving on here, we have our question segment. Now, all of the questions today will be from Little Clever Gem 123 on Twitter, who sent a DM to Thomas with a plethora of Mario Kart questions.
A cornucopia, if you will. A cart cornucopia. Oh my goodness. Yeah, right there.
There you go. All right, so first question here. What is your favorite Mario Kart game? For me, Mario Kart Wii. I've mentioned it quite a few times with Coconut Mall in this episode. Just a classic. I mean, the community for it is great. People still play it today, obviously. Still videos being made on it. With the online, I forget what the exact system is called that people are playing online with. But regardless, great community, great game, very nostalgic. Definitely one of my favorites. Yeah, I mean, that's all. I mean, Coconut Mall in it too. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I mean, 8 and 8 Deluxe were like the pinnacle in terms of HD graphics, and it was really better than anything else in a way. They've all been better and better though. I mean, sometimes I did my ranking video, and like, I know this is very much a hot take, but I've never played a Mario Kart game as much as I played Mario Kart Tour, and that's because, of course, it has a built-in thing where you have to keep playing it. But there's something to that. There's something to the fact that this game makes me. I'm more obsessed with this game maybe than I have been all of them, but I've been obsessed about all of them as they've all come. But originally, from back in the day, just part of my life, 64 is the one, and I still think it's a classic. Just like Mario 64, I think is one of the best, or maybe the best Mario platform.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Hey, go ahead.
I don't even know, man. I'm gonna go with 8 Deluxe because I thought 8 just mechanically, Mario Kart 8 is so good. And my one problem with that mechanically was the items. I thought the items were too boring because you got coins too frequently, and because you could only hold one item, which is like one of the first Mario Kart games in a while where like you couldn't drag the item behind you. Like you literally only had one. So they rectified that in Deluxe.
You could drag, but you couldn't drag and then pick up a new one.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Sorry. Deluxe, they fixed everything I had, plus added in a battle mode that wasn't like clearly like added in last second and like actually had thought put into it. So I gotta say mechanically, probably 8 Deluxe. I just think like, man, whatever they do, they're gonna have to add in something different. They're gonna have to change up the game it's gonna have to be very altered, like whether they do that plane idea or that story mode idea. They're gonna have to add in something huge because 8 Deluxe, I feel like, kind of perfected, to be honest, this era of Mario Kart where it's like like what can you add without changing up something really massive?
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So next question here: what is your favorite Mario Kart character? Funky Kong. Hands down for me. Once again, from Mario Kart Wii. Very surprising. I know I'm very original in this podcast episode, so I'm sure all of you are enjoying that. But yeah, definitely want Funky to make a comeback into Mario Kart 9. Glad he got that recognition for Mario Kart Tour and was introduced into that. So hopefully we can see him return in Mario Kart 9.
Yeah.
Thomas?
Hey.
I gotta go Rosalina. I just
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
I'm not super into the Galaxy games anymore. Obviously, they didn't like decline in quality. I just haven't gone back to them as much. But when I first was playing Mario Kart Wii, I was like also simultaneously playing through Galaxy, and just to see like, oh, this character, this like kind of side character in Galaxy was actually in Mario Kart Wii. And Nintendo doesn't always do that. Like they never, like Toadsworth was never in, I don't think was ever in Mario Kart unless he was in Double Dash, but I don't think so. Um,
Sad, very sad. He
yeah,
will come to Mario Kart Tour, mark my words.
hopefully. But yeah, like Nintendo doesn't often put in the side characters from Mario Kart. Like Pauline in Odyssey, she was never added into 8 Deluxe. She was only in Tour. So to see Rosalina, to see that Rosalina was actually in Wii, it was pretty special. And I didn't know she was in it until I actually unlocked her, which was a really cool moment. So I gotta go Rosalina.
That's cool. I mean, Funky and Rosalina both have huge fan bases,
Yeah.
so I'll cover those. I go with Toad. Always been my favorite since day one. One of the
Oh
one of the
geez.
eight
Yeah.
originals. Yeah, Toad's always been my guy in every game. So love Toad, and then I do love Pit Crew Toad from the Mario Kart Tour as well. But
Yeah.
All right. Next question here. What Mario Kart game had the best courses or cups? Um, yeah, Sammy, I'll just hand this one to you. Which do you think? Very difficult question, but at least attempt.
Like overall on
I
average, that's
yeah,
rough.
Yeah.
I think I mean I don't know. It was weird doing my ranked list because so many of my people on YouTube were like Mario Kart Wii. They all said like all my comments was like Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart Wii. I didn't. I guess I underestimated the fan base of Mario Kart Wii, and I am an old. I'm a slightly different generation than you guys, I guess. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I still say 64. Just the tracks. Wario Stadium, Calamari, DK Jungle Parkway, that Rainbow Road. Koopa Beach. There's so many Royal Raceway. I mean, to me, and they're not as elaborate. I mean, obviously, when you get to 8 Deluxe and you have the
Yeah.
insane, I mean, like Thwomp Ruins as an example, like Thwomp Ruins is such an amazing, like you got the world building, like a new
Yeah.
setting, a new locale within, and then just it looked so good. It was so fun to play. God, there's this. I don't know which one would have the most. Mario Kart Wii also has a really, really stacked list of all-time courses. I gotta say, I would either go 64 or Wii.
Thomas, go ahead.
Um, I'm gonna ban myself from choosing 8 Deluxe because I've chosen that for literally everything. But I do want to point
Yeah,
out that 8 Deluxe has 50% more tracks than most modern Mario Karts, because most modern Mario Karts have 32 with the 16 retro, 16 new. 8 Deluxe has
yeah.
4 DLC cups. So I would say that I'm gonna ban myself from choosing that and gonna go with Double Dash. Double Dash,
Yes. Great
Wow.
one.
Double Dash has got
Baby Park is
Oh,
like
yeah.
Baby
top
Park.
five all
Yeah.
time, probably
Yeah,
for everyone would agree. So
Baby Park, just biggest joke course of all time. I have a love-hate relationship. Overall, I love it, but like when I'm playing with
yeah,
my friends, the joke is I hate it because it's the only one they can beat me on. Because
yeah.
it's so like luck oriented. Um,
It's an anomaly. It's an outlier for
yeah,
sure.
100%. But there's so many great Double Dash cups. Grumble, no, not Grumble Volcano. DK Mountain, is that it? The
Yep,
the one,
DK Mountain.
yeah, that one is, I love that course
Great.
with all my heart. That course is so
All
fun.
timer.
It was remade again on Wii, so I guess that
Hmm.
doesn't really necessarily help my Double Dash exclusive point, but it's so fun. And I think the Rainbow Road on Double Dash is one of the most fun Rainbow Road. It's not my favorite, but it is one of, it's like probably top two for me.
Gotcha. So I just chose a cup because just like choosing a game in general is very difficult. I'm gonna have to agree with you guys. So the flower cup from Mario Kart Wii once
Wow.
again.
Chose a cup.
Obviously,
Wow,
oh,
that's
of
a
course.
All right, hit us
So
with the rundown.
Yeah, what
yeah.
is it? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
no. So we have Mario Circuit, obviously Coconut Mall, duh. And
Okay.
another one of my two
Really?
favorite courses here being DK Summit and Wario's Gold Mine, just all
Oh, that's
time
a
great for
banger.
me.
That is a
I love that
stacked
cup.
cup.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
my goodness.
Yeah, I
I was
loved it.
my
Yep.
I'm blown away. They
Good.
put so many heavy hitters in a cup.
Yeah,
Okay, PJ, can you find the Star Cup in Mario Kart Wii? Because I
I
remember
can. Yep.
The Star Cup had both Koopa Cape, which I love,
Yeah.
and I believe it
Yeah.
Maple
had
Tree
Maple
Way.
Tree Way,
Yep.
which
Yeah. So it
both of those
has.
are also really good. So that's a stacked cup as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Daisy
Grumble.
Circuit, Koopa
Grumble.
Cape. Yeah. Grumble Volcano as well. Maple Tree
Oh
Way.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
that was on
some great
fire.
cups. So
Yeah.
Flower Cup definitely my choosing obviously has to do a lot with Coconut Mall itself, but obviously Wario's Gold Mine is very great. I really enjoyed that, even though
Oh yeah.
some people find the bats very annoying. And DK Summit is just really fun too, with that shortcut, I believe. Going off the mountain so you can get down to a lower level faster, and the half pipes were just a really fun gimmick as well, so really enjoyed that. Obviously, as you can tell, very nostalgic for Mario Kart Wii. So
No,
Yeah, I
it's
didn't
great.
know
yeah,
this. I
yeah.
didn't know you were so into Mario Kart Wii, PJ.
Oh, now you know, bro. All right,
Yeah.
so next question here, and it is the last one. What game had the best Rainbow Road course? So
What a
this
perfect
is,
way to end it.
oh
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So Sammy, go ahead. What is your favorite Rainbow Road
Oh
of all time?
gosh. Well,
This
now
is
I
a
feel like
thinker.
I gotta
Tough one
say,
again.
I guess I feel like like you just said, I can't say 64 because I've said that for everything. Uh, oh gosh, but I really do feel like it is.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all.
Hmm,
It's all good.
That's okay.
I feel like it. I feel like it is just because the jump shortcut off the top is
Oh
the most
yeah.
epic
Yeah.
shortcut in
Yeah.
Mario Kart history. And I don't know, it's so long and monotonous. It's a marathon. Like when you
Yeah.
play it with someone, it takes longer than any other track. And it's
Yeah.
such a long haul. Like so much can happen in the span of that track. And it, with the subsequent Rainbow Roads, they really like I kind of think with like by the time we got to 8 Deluxe, honestly, they kind of like started to overthink the Rainbow Road thing a little bit. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to have
Yeah.
it going through like
I 100%
800
agree.
futuristic spaceships and like all
Yeah.
like to me just like a long crazy loop to loop track in space.
Yeah.
64 nailed it. Plus you throw in the chain chomps just for a total like wild card element,
Yeah.
which no matter how good you are, like they'll still get you till this day,
Uh-huh. Yeah. My question for you, Sammy. I
Yep.
I think I know your answer, and I think I'm on the same boat as you. Are you a
Okay.
fan of the Mario Kart 8 remake of N64 Rainbow Road, where they chopped the length of it essentially
No.
in third?
Hell no.
Yeah, that's what I
Heck
thought.
no.
I hate it so bad.
But- Well, it's like, yeah, I don't know if it's like, the attention span of young people diminishing more and more. I mean, Mario Kart Tour has only 2 laps,
Yeah.
2 laps per race now. And the fact that they took the cool concept of I forget how you described it, but the sectional courses where you have
Yeah.
3 sections. I mean, those are
Uh-huh.
great in and of itself. You don't need to take 1 lap from a track
Yeah,
and turn it into
exactly.
actually it's too short. So yeah, not a fan, but I did like that choo choo train going through the sky. That was cool.
Oh yeah, that one was cool. Yeah, PJ, do you want to do your Rainbow
Yeah,
Road, or do you want me to?
yeah, no.
Road?
Rainbow Road is not going to be Mario Kart Wii this time. Surprisingly,
Ooh,
it's actually
okay.
going to be from Double Dash, my second favorite Mario Kart game. Just very nostalgic as well because I played Double Dash so much with my friend AG, which I did Smashcast with. As some of the viewers may know, I had a channel before I joined SwitchStop, that being Smashcast. We used to make Smash Bros prediction videos, and my good IRL friend, we used to play Double Dash all the time. And Rainbow Road was definitely very competitive with that big funnel and everything. Now
hmm
Now,
Oh,
talk
cool.
about like the course build. I'm gonna have to go with Wii, but like overall, like my favorite, it has to be Double Dash because of just the nostalgia and all those good times of the competitiveness and all that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely my favorite.
Yeah. Okay, mine. I'm not going with 8 or 8 Deluxe specifically because I don't think those are good Rainbow Roads. Like the new Rainbow Road in that
Yeah,
one,
I agree.
I do not really like it. I am not a huge fan. I do think though, it's very hard because when you choose like these tracks, it's so tied to like what experiences you have. And I think
Yeah.
for all of us, our best Mario Kart experiences are when you're playing with friends, like sitting down on a couch, local multiplayer. And because of that, I don't want to choose this course because it is a handheld Rainbow Road, so I don't have those memories. But I gotta go with Mario Kart 7 Rainbow Road because it's the only one where you like actually drive on like any sort of planets, and that is such a cool idea because it's like it doesn't completely ditch the Rainbow Road formula, but it just kind of
Something new, yeah.
spices it up a little bit. And
Mhm.
I just think, especially, I know they remade it for Tour, but on the 3DS, the actual 3D gimmick in Mario Kart 7 was one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Like that was one of my favorite uses of the 3D gimmick, and Rainbow Road I think
Mhm.
was the coolest course with that because it just like you could look out into space, and with the depth perception, like it looked like it went on for a long time, which is just so cool.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah.
that's my favorite.
By the way, I forget. There's a couple like I feel like in so when they remade, first of all, they remade the 64 on 8 Deluxe, the one you mentioned,
Yeah.
you can see like a city down below. And I
Yeah.
feel like is it in GameCube version also that so GameCube Mario Kart, just as a side note, had all these references to the other tracks within the tracks. It was a
Yeah.
cool thing that people have done some YouTube videos about it. But I feel like for that one, Rainbow Road, like down on the ground, you could see like Mushroom Bridge, like or the city from
Hmm.
Mushroom Bridge, like down underneath you. Like
Mhm.
that was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
cool. That's a cool feature.
It's
I hope they do
it's
that
nice when
more.
it feels like it ties in. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just a nice touch. I mean, it goes a long way. It's very like memorable. So I did like that at least. Um,
Yeah.
so I think that's it. If everyone's done here, I think that's it. We can close off here, Thomas.
Man, that was a Mario Kart marathon, like Mario Kart Rainbow Road on the N64. That was a marathon of Mario Kart. Hopefully, we answered everyone's questions, and everyone got what they were expecting when clicking on this episode. Because I mean, I like what else Mario Kart could we even talk? Like I think we literally hit the nail on the head on everything. Um, So yeah, with that out of the way, if you guys are still listening and haven't already, what are you doing? Go check out Kart Life on YouTube. If I mean you've listened to like what are we at, PJ? Like hour and a half of Mario Kart now?
Hour and 12 minutes. Some might be a little
Yeah.
cut down, but just around that.
Yeah, okay. About an hour,
Yep.
over an hour. You've listened to over an hour of Mario Kart talk, so you clearly like Mario Kart. So like, what are you doing? Like, come on,
Just go
check
sub,
out
man.
Kart Life.
Just go sub,
Yeah,
man.
go check out Kart Life on YouTube. Mario Kart Tour content, just normal Mario Kart content, like ranking videos, all that stuff. We might be doing some collabs in the future too, so keep an eye out for that if that ever happens. Yeah, with that out of the way, just thank you guys all so much for listening. Thank you on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube, everyone, for all the support on the podcast.
Yep.
And with that out of the way, that was the 11th ever episode of Nintendo Tonight.